guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the book of the moment, which is Toke Makinwa's book on becoming. This book, people have been sending me messages, ZMA, are you not going to talk about this book? I will talk, but I wanted to read it first because I don't want to be reading what people are writing online. I want to have my own opinion on this book. So I'm also going to be doing a giveaway of this book. So if you want a copy, make sure you stay tuned, make sure you subscribe, don't forget to click the like button. It's very, very important, and I'll be doing the giveaway towards the end. But first of all, let's talk about what this book is about. Man, this is a hot topic. So there are two copies of this book. You can get the hardcover one or the softcover one like I got. This one is 5,000 naira. The other one is 8,000 naira. Since it's not a book I want to keep, it's not like a recipe book or a book that I'm going to be storing and going back to read from time to time, I decided, why am I buying hardcover? Let me just buy this. And I want to commend Toke for, it's not easy to write a book. I was reading the book, and I finished this book within 2 hours. That's how strong my memory was. Like, I forgot everything else I was doing. I was just flipping the pages and reading everything. And I want to commend her for actually writing a book like this. It was like a story. It was so interesting to read. Very, very interesting. I could not stop in one place. I just kept going and going and going. And I think I should commend her for that. But let's tear this book apart. No, let's not tear it apart. Let's just talk about the things I wouldn't say things I learned, but I'll just say the things I picked up from reading this book, things that were reconfirmed to me, or things I want to point out to people about this book. I think the first question I want to ask is it legal to write about people like this? I had no idea you could write a book and put the actual names of people. Like, is it legal? If you're a lawyer, just let me know. I never knew that could happen. Because as I was reading it, I was like, Maje. And then Anita. And she called a lot of people's names, like their real names. There was no fake name anywhere. Their real names. And then I'm like, I guess she would have done her homework to know whether this was legal or it was not legal. But as I was reading it, I was just like, hey, Maje. Is it Maje or Maje? Whatever his name is. Character. Completely assassinated. If I see that guy coming from a distance, me, I will pass like this. If I greet that guy and he says good morning, I'm like, are you sure it's morning? That, like, after reading that book, that was how I felt. I'm like, this guy's character is just bad. You are just a bad guy. You are just a bad guy. How could you treat somebody like this? But then again, it's not his fault completely. And see, why did you stay there shopping shit? That's it. Some people say it's love, blinded by love, but sometimes I think it's more than love. I think it's not just love. I think it's the thing that affects a lot of women in Nigeria and women all over. It's like you're in a relationship, and if anything bad happens to it, you face a bit of shame and ridicule, and some people would rather die there than face any kind of shame whatsoever. It's the reason a lot of women stay in terrible marriages. It's the reason a lot of women stay in terrible relationships. Like, they've never entered the marriage, they're in a relationship, and that's the reason they stay there, because of the shame and the embarrassment they're going to face when they come out of that relationship, saying, oh, it was a failed relationship. Just that, what will people say thing. I think it goes beyond love. I think that was one of the reasons why she could not, leave the guy. Unless there's something else she has not told us. So she should tell us the cocoa, and Toke tell us the cocoa. The first thing I picked up on this is that you need to have self-love. And self-love is one of those things, even me, I struggled with a long time ago, because I always felt like, I felt like I wasn't pretty, I felt like I wasn't good enough, and there were a lot of things that caused things like this. There are a lot of things that cause feelings like this. I always felt inadequate. I always second-guessed my opinions, but the truth is, after a while, I came into myself and I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? You have no reason to have low self-esteem. And God helped me, and I surrounded myself with positive, building people, and it's raised my self-esteem. And right now, you cannot tell me shit, because God has helped my self-esteem. If you don't have self-love, if you have low self-esteem, there are a lot of things you're going to tolerate that will be bad for you. And it's not just in relationships, in friendships, in so many things, in your career. Low self-esteem can kill you. So that's the first thing I picked up, that she had low self-esteem. And if you're somebody that's struggling with low self-esteem, you need to work on it before entering a relationship, because it can destroy you. So love yourself, work on yourself before you allow somebody to come and love you or come and give you their version of love. By the time you've seen your own version, you're like, is this what I feel I want? Then you can say yes or no, or whatever the case might be. When I was reading the part where Toke's parents died, I think that was the most emotional part of the book for me, because it reminded me of a similar story. Also, I'm like, this whole family got almost destroyed because two people were keeping malice. If you've not read the book, I can just summarize this part of the book. What happened is, maybe they were like two house helps or something like that, and Toke's mom bought a gas cylinder. The gas cylinder was leaking, so she was like, oh, a few days from now, it was leaking on Friday, so she was like, she will return it to the store on Monday. Nobody should use this gas, so she told this Madam A that nobody should use the gas. Madam A, because she's not talking to Madam B, did not tell Madam B. So Madam B went and lit the gas and it exploded, killing Madam B instantly. But this Madam A too got a part of it. She got burned and she died eventually, like she died from her wounds. And Toke's mom died from the fire, and Toke's dad passed through from the fire. And I'm like, all this drama because two idiots were not talking. Malice is terrible. Malice is terrible. You guys can see in this book a typical example of how it can destroy lives. And I feel if her parents didn't die, she would have had a more grounded background, even though Big Mommy did a good job. Like, can we shout out to Big Mommy? Big Mommy took in Toke and her siblings and took in everything and trained them to school and everything, and she did her best, because I'm sure it's not easy to take care of so many children, especially children that are not your own. So shout out to you, Big Mommy, whoever you are. God bless you. We love you. As I'm reading the book, it's hard to, as the story is unfolding, I'm like, hope all is well, because I don't see how somebody will do this kind of thing to you and you sit down there. Seriously, this guy stood her up when they were getting married previously. Stood her up and you did not leave him alone. What is it about this guy? What is it? And then this guy stood her up and he's been cheating on her in their relationship. Like, from the beginning of the relationship to the end, it was just cheating. Not be saying the guy didn't even give her money. I don't even know what she was benefiting from the relationship. Because when I try to analyze it, I'm like, is the guy rich? The guy might be from a wealthy family, but it's not like he was buying you Bentleys and buying you Benz and building a house for you. What did this guy do for you? She not fit up. What did the guy do for her? So, and then after seeing all these things in the relationship, they have not even entered the marriage side. After this guy stood you up, you now went and got married to him. Now even did low-key marriage. And we know Nigerian girls, we don't like low-key marriage. You agreed to do surprise low-key marriage, thinking it's going to fix everything. I think that's my point. A lot of people, you're in a terrible relationship, you can see the signs. Your husband or your fiance or your boyfriend, I know they stay in one place, but you have decided, maybe if we get married and I get pregnant and he has responsibilities, I know, but they shook everywhere, but it's a lie. It's a big lie. If somebody does this much when you people are dating, when you guys marry, the person will do like this, go. Cover yam ripe. That's what they are saying. So I've read this quote somewhere. When somebody shows you their true character, don't be giving them excuses. Somebody has done something bad, it's bad. No excuse. No, oh, maybe sometimes they're like, oh, when people cheat, it's a mistake. It's a lie. Stop it. Stop it. It's not a mistake. It's a conscious decision. The only time it can be a mistake when somebody cheats as bad, they sleep with somebody else, is maybe they fell on that person. That's the only way I would accept it as a mistake. Maybe the girl was lying down here, so my girl was passing and now fell on her. That's a mistake. But cheating I don't classify it as mistake at all, at all, at all. It is a conscious decision. Like, you even require overthinking to cheat. Like, you have to strategize. Like, make sure you hide your phone calls, make sure you don't mention the person. Like, do you know the thinking that goes into cheating? Then you now say it's a mistake. Please, it's not a mistake. Don't deceive yourself. So if you're struggling with anything in your relationship, don't think marriage is going to fix it. In that relationship, if you want to continue, just continue and wait to see if the person's character will change, or if they even make effort. If they don't, you need to leave them alone. Please leave them alone, because when you enter the marriage, you will not say "I die no," or somebody will not tell you. You have heard it now. Marriage is not going to fix any trouble in a relationship. Marriage is only going to, what's the word, expand that problem. So if your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they are misbehaving before marriage, marriage is just going to make it a whole lot worse. And by then, you are going to be the goat that has tied itself to the pole. You know, goats that they want to slaughter. You only use your hand to tie yourself to the pole. That's what the situation will be. That's what they call fly away not the year was they follow dead body enter grave. That's what happens. So, like, don't jump into marriage. You need to think about it critically and accept all the responsibility. This is something I've always mentioned in previous videos, which is women, you need to be financially independent, not because of anything, but just because of yourself. I know sometimes, let's say sometimes when you're about to get married, you're blinded by love, your husband has told you, I'll take care of you forever, I'll pay your salary, you don't need to work. You may not need to go to work every day, but you should have your own source of income. You can be a stay-at-home mom. I am a working mom. I don't go to work every day. I work from my home. So me, I'm a working mom or a stay-at-home working mom. So you can have your own source of income, because a lot of the issues I find in Nigerian marriages, when I'm seeing marriages suffer, the most things women talk about when they ask them, why are you sitting down there shopping sheets? And they're like, where will I go? I don't have money. Where will I start from? That's usually the problem, the biggest problem. The second problem is, what will people say? My parents, they will not support you. I will be the first to stay in my house. I don't say you should go and divorce. I'm just saying, when you have your own, even the relationship will feel different. Your husband will treat you differently. I had a friend that was asking me for advice. Oh, should I quit my job, or should I blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, my dear, have you stayed in a marriage where you don't have money and you depend on your husband for everything, pant, bra, foundation, concealer? I cannot even imagine that kind of life where I have to ask somebody for everything that I want. Financial independence as a woman, as anybody, as a boy, girl, woman, man, is very, very important, because you don't want to live your life in the hands of somebody else. Like, take responsibility for your life. The reason why Toke could move on in this situation is because she was financially grounded. Imagine if she was one of those women that didn't have a job. She would not have a voice. She would have swallowed everything this guy was doing, and she would have just drowned. Emotional abuse would have just killed her. But she had the finances, and that kind of strengthened her and gave her, do you understand, the strength to move on. Because now all that's missing is the love. She has the money, she has the security and everything. So all that's missing is the love. So women, take responsibility of your financial life. Like, that's the first thing you should work on. Even if your husband, well, it's up to you. The truth is, life is a choice. You can do it. You can say you don't want to do it, but to me, I do feel it's very important. When I was younger, I got advice from my uncle. He was like, don't start a relationship early. But you know, life is so difficult to tell somebody don't start a relationship when you are younger, because when you are young, you are naive, you don't know anything, and at that point, you'll be feeling like the dawn, you'll be feeling like you know everything, you'll be feeling like you are in love with everything. But the truth is, the kind of relationship you enter when you're younger is different from the kind of relationship you enter when you're much older, with much experience. Because when you're younger, you're naive, you don't know anything. Anything that person is dishing out to you is what you believe love is. It takes a lot of strength and common sense to know and realize that what this relationship is not the right thing, and then you move on. A lot of ladies, from their first relationship, they find it hard to move on. So if you're a young lady, don't get yourself intertwined in relationship business until you are really, really mature to deal with it, because relationships can destroy your life. Look at how many years of Toke Makinwa's life now about this guy, this one guy. It's not like she didn't have relationships before. I think she mentioned about 2 relationships before this magic guy, but she was very young too when she met him and very gullible, and this guy kind of defined what a man was for her. So I don't blame her in that regard. It's just when you're young, we should it's easier said than done, man. Stay away from boys. When they say stay away from boys, this is what they are talking about, this kind of boys. Right now, if I see my J, I don't talk on before, I'll be like, hello, my J. The name God said. I'm so sorry. Like, she mentioned this guy's name over 300 times in this book. Like, don't make somebody the center of your life. I think she made Majay the center of her life. Like, if there's no Majay, I'll just die. Kill me, cuckoo kill me, cuckoo kill me. It's not a cuckoo kill me situation. Don't make somebody the center of your life. Make God the center of your life, okay? And I'm sure she realized that at the end. Truly, she did realize that at the end, because she wrote about it, about how God helped her, how she thought about committing suicide, how she changed her mind, and how God helped her. And she found God, which is a blessing. But I was just hoping I was going to read about how her career took off, because yeah, Majay is one side of her life, that's relationships. As a woman, you have different components, you have different sides to your life. Don't make your relationship the everything, like everything about you is one person. Even God doesn't like that. And you know, we are human beings. Human beings disappoint. So if you are there depending on your husband, like, oh, my husband is my everything, my boyfriend is perfect, he cannot do this. I'm not saying he's not perfect, but we are human at the end of the day, and he may disappoint you, and you don't want to be destroyed in that disappointment. So Toke, I wish you wrote more about your career. I wanted to see how, because you talk a lot about how the struggle was, like getting to where she is now. She talked about how the struggle was, but she didn't mention it in this book. I wanted to see how she became a radio host or a radio presenter, how she became a celebrity, how she made it in Nigeria, how she became popular. Like, I wanted to see the career journey, but this book was all about magic, so I don't like that. And then there was one chapter that was missing. And the chapter, let me look for that chapter. It was what? Chapter 10, the other woman. I'm like, why is this chapter missing? Like 3 blank pages. I'm like, maybe it's shade to the other woman, or maybe the other woman is not worth writing about. Just empty blank pages. And at first I thought the book I bought is not complete. Do you guys think the book is not complete, or was this done on purpose? There's something Toke mentioned in this book, which is the truth, and it is on page 135. This book is a how many page book long? It's a 141 page book, and in that part she said, there's a sharp difference in the way Nigerian men and women have brushed the topic of my husband's infidelity. Among men, when they attempt comforting words, they usually end up with statements like, it's a man's world and he did what was bad, but forgive him because we are all not saints. That's true. He's even brave for apologizing publicly because most men will not apologize. And that's how they behave in Nigeria. Women, on the other hand, tend to be more emotional, so they rarely speak directly. Instead, they give a hug or recite a Bible verse and expect you to get it. That part I agree with, because I've seen a lot of people in those kind of marriages and relationships where, let's say, there's infidelity, and that's the answer they always give you. I'm even a member on some forums on Facebook where it's all about marriage, like Nigerian marriages. And when a man is cheating and someone comes like, my husband is cheating, what should I do, what should I do? A lot of people are like, oh, treat him better, do this, throw back, do this. Like it's the woman's fault that that's happening in the first place. So I totally understand where she's coming from when she mentioned that. Some people were like, Maje and Anita should write their own books or say their own sides of the story. I don't really think I want to see any other side of the story, because it's not going to excuse what the guy did. Like, hearing the side of the story is not going to justify the fact that he cheated on her in their relationship so many times. It's not going to justify the fact that he fathered a child outside. Like, That is so heartbreaking. So I don't want to hear any other part of the story. But if you could bring it, we will read it. Now to the giveaway. If you want a copy of this book, all you need to do is subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below that you want to read it. But the thing is, you have to be in Nigeria because I cannot send this book abroad or anywhere else. So if you're interested in reading this book, all you have to do is make sure you are one of my subscribers. Click the subscribe button. Okay, just subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm going to, put it up on Instagram too, so you can comment on Instagram. And the book will go to one lucky person. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.